Hello there folks, it's Nerdy John here, and today I'm doing my first top 10 video. Yeah, it took me long enough. Anyway, I was challenged by Triv from Trivial Theater to come up with my favorite movies in the subgenres of horror. So we'll be going through the list shortly.
I'm trying to pick a few reviewers to share their faves, but I promise a deranged space llama will not show up at your house if you choose not to take part. There's no requirement, it's just a fun thing to do if you'd like to.
That's a lie, by the way. The space llama did in fact come to make me do this. Don't mess with Triv. So anyway, the first one we're going to come up with today is found footage. Now, like many other horror fans, this is not my favorite genre. I find it really lazy at times. Not that the format itself can't be done right. It's an excuse for a lot of beginner movie makers or budget studios to make a really cheap and most likely crappy horror movie. However, I am actually going to pick the film that arguably pioneered it, Cannibal Holocaust. Now, I know the entire film in of itself isn't found footage, but the found footage elements in the movie work spectacularly. And if you have the stomach for it, check out Cannibal Holocaust. It is a really, really good horror movie. And now we are going to go after zombie movies next. Well, for me, this is really simple. Dawn of the Dead. The special effects, the characters. It's just an incredible zombie movie. And, you know, it really kicked off George Romero's career because the original Night of the Living Dead didn't really do so well commercially, but with this sequel, it opened up the floodgates to many more fantastic George Romero movies. Now, paranormal films. I haven't seen a lot of them, particularly because I don't find the paranormal that interesting, if I'm being honest. I'm not much of a believer in ghosts, so I don't really find them that terrifying. However, one paranormal movie I adore is John Carpenter's The Fog. It is a really good movie and the special effects are pretty decent even for the time. Now, this next category, torture porn. I'm not much of a watcher of that, if I'm being honest, although films I have watched that contain torture porn elements is probably Terrifier. That's a pick for me, even though technically it's a slasher. It has a grindhouse look and aesthetic to it, and overall, the film is great popcorn fun with amazing gore effects. So yeah, that's my pick for torture porn. Now, for my favorite vampire film, it has to be George Romero's Martin because of the way it does it. It makes you question whether or not the main character is actually a vampire at all. Now, if you don't know the setup of this film, Martin, our protagonist, is a vampire, but he's not a vampire in the traditional sense. He doesn't have fangs to suck the blood out of his victims. Instead, he has to use a razor in order to cut them and get the blood flowing so that way he can consume it. Now, his cousin is trying to stop him. But but no one in the family or anywhere else really believes the whole vampire tale. But what's important in this is in the story is that they believe in the vampire curse. So it's a really interesting dynamic, and it's a good character study. Now, for my pick for werewolf films, well, to put it simply, it's Wolf Cop. Wolf Cop is the story of a sheriff who becomes a werewolf, and he's powered by alcohol. It's a fun ride, and the suit effects are actually really decent given the movie's budget. Seriously, check it out. Now, for home invasion films, well, my pick for that is really, really simple. It's a movie called You're Next, and what's amazing about this home invasion movie is it really turns things on its head, because the main character, she's not helpless. In fact, oftentimes you're more worried for the home invaders than you are the family inside, and it's a dark comedy. It's really, really funny at points, and it's just a really fun ride. Now, for sci-fi horror movies, well, it was between Alien and John Carpenter's The Things, and well, I gotta go with The Things. The Thing is my favorite horror movie of all time, so I have to put it here. The special effects are amazing, and the mystery, the tension throughout the film is such a buildup. Like, it doesn't help the characters that they've already been isolated for months, and then you bring in this almost unstoppable alien creature that could be any one of them. It's a fantastic story. Now, for foreign horror films, I have to give it to Dario D'Argento's Suspiria. It is a work of art. The camera angles, the colors, it is such a bizarre film, and it had me on the edge of my seat throughout the entire viewing first time around. And now, for the meat and potatoes of horror, we have the slasher genre. Now, this is a really tricky pick for me, partly because, slasher is what got me into horror. And you have so many classics. You have Nightmare on Elm Street, you have Friday the 13th, and then you have gems like My Bloody Valentine. However, I have to go with the first Halloween, partly because of how well it builds up the tension for me. How we see Michael as a killer. In this first movie, it's not because of family relations or anything like that. He wants to go after Laurie purely because she's there. The fact that there's no purpose behind his attacks makes it even more chilling, in my opinion. So, those were my top picks for the subgenres of horror. Unfortunately, I don't have any other reviewers to really tag in this, so I'm gonna leave it up to any of you guys watching who haven't made a video like this yet to go ahead and do it. This was really fun picking out which ones were actually my favorite in the specific subgenres. This is Nerdy John, signing out. Well, folks, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. If I make it to 150 subs, I have a very special review in mind, so please make sure to do so.